A spokesperson close to Tala confirmed the news to the Daily Mail, stating succinctly, "I can confirm she is separated from her ex-husband." The statement was followed by a message of resilience. This move marks a new chapter for her, both personally and professionally, and she is very much focused on the positive opportunities ahead. Divorce is a disorienting experience for anyone, but doing so in the shadow of a famous family adds a layer of complexity. Tala's life has been splashed across the tabloids not because of her own actions, but because of her association with one of the most famous couples on the planet. Yet, she has handled the transition with a grace that suggests the steel spine of the Alamuddin lineage. The breakdown of her marriage necessitated a physical move. The home she built in Singapore, filled with memories of family dinners and children growing up, had to be left behind. It is a testament to her strength that she viewed this not as a retreat but as a strategic repositioning. She is leaning on her older sister during this time, a source revealed. The bond between Amal and Tala has always been strong, but in times of crisis, family is often the only port in the storm. Amal, who balances motherhood, a high-pressure career, and being a Hollywood icon, understands better than most the challenges of maintaining identity amidst chaos. The London return, a new rhythm. Tala is now back in London, and the city feels different to her than it did when she left. She is not the young woman who departed years ago. She is a seasoned mother, a divorcee, and a successful entrepreneur. In a candid, deeply reflective Instagram post, Tala opened up about the emotional landscape of her return. "There's something both grounding and unfamiliar about coming home," she wrote. Post was a meditation on change, growth, and the passage of time. "After years in Singapore raising my family, building, creating, and moving at full speed, I found myself back in London, in a new rhythm, in a new chapter." This concept of a new rhythm is central to understanding Tala's current state of mind. For years, her rhythm was dictated by the needs of her young children and the demands of her marriage in Singapore. Now, with her children grown, "My children are grown," she noted with a mix of pride and melancholy, "the pace has shifted. The city feels different this time," she continued. "Maybe because I am too." This admission is powerful. It acknowledges that while the streets of London, the fog on the Thames, and the architecture remain constant, she has evolved. She is no longer trying to fit into a mold. "I'm learning to prioritize myself again, my creativity, my health, my time." For a woman who has spent the last 2 decades primarily defined as a mother and a wife, this reclamation of self is a radical act. "It is a quieter kind of confidence," she writes, "the kind that comes with knowing who you are and what you love, without rushing to fit into anyone else's idea of it." This is the freedom of midlife. The frantic need to please has been replaced by a solid sense of self-worth. She is looking forward to new routines, new friends, and rediscovering old ones. It is a celebration of the beauty of reinvention. The sisterhood, Amal's unwavering support. One cannot discuss Tala's return without highlighting the role of Amal. The relationship between the two sisters is a fascinating study in contrasts and similarities. Amal is the global superstar, the barrister who wears $500,000 couture gowns to the United Nations. Tala is the creative force, the businesswoman who prefers the tactile satisfaction of design and the quiet joy of family life. Yet they are cut from the same cloth. When Amal married George Clooney in Venice in 2014, it was a global event, but at its core were the people she loved most. Tala served as a bridesmaid, a physical symbol of their enduring bond. The photos from that wedding show the sisters arm in arm, united in their joy. Amal has always been Tala's biggest cheerleader. This isn't just familial obligation, it is genuine admiration for her sister's talent. Amal has been spotted on numerous occasions sporting accessories from Tala's collection. Perhaps the most high-profile endorsement came in 2018, when Amal attended the wedding of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. Clutched in her hand was one of Tala's designs, a subtle but powerful statement of support on one of the world's biggest stages. As Tala navigates the choppy waters of her split from Nico, Amal's support has shifted from the sartorial to the emotional. Amal has a home in Oxfordshire, a sprawling estate where she and George raised their 8-year-old twins Alexander and Ella. While the Clooneys also spend time in their lavish Lake Como mansion and their chateau in Provence, the UK home serves as a hub for the family. Tala's relocation to the UK places her within easy reach of this sanctuary. Proximity allows the sisters to lean on one another in a way that wasn't possible when Tala was in Singapore. Whether it's a quiet cup of tea in the Oxfordshire countryside or a brainstorming session about the future of Tala, the physical closeness is undoubtedly a balm for Tala's spirit. A spokesperson noted that Tala is excited to be back in London and looking ahead to what's next. This optimism is likely fueled by the knowledge that she is not alone. The Alamuddin sisters are a team, and as Tala starts over, Amal is there to ensure she lands on her feet. The evolution of Tala, fashion with a conscience. With the personal changes afoot, the professional horizon for Tala is also expanding. Tala by Tala Alamuddin is not just returning to London. The brand is returning to its roots, but with a renewed sense of purpose. The spokesperson explained that Tala continues to build Tala by Tala Alamuddin, with London providing a strong and inspiring base as she expands the brand's wellness-led offering alongside its luxury accessories. This expansion signifies a maturation of the brand. It is no longer just about beautiful objects, it is about a lifestyle, a holistic approach to wellness that mirrors Tala's own journey. One of the most significant pivots for the brand is the transition to a made-to-order model. In the fast-paced world of fashion where waste is rampant and trends are disposable, this decision is bold. It is a move towards sustainability, a reflection of Tala's growing passion and deepening commitment to her purpose of supporting women to live the life they desire. By moving to made-to-order, Tala is leading by example. She is rejecting the more is more mentality that often plagues the luxury industry. Instead, she is creating pieces that are intentional, crafted specifically for the client, and devoid of the excess inventory that clogs landfills. This aligns with the quieter confidence she spoke of in her Instagram post. It is about quality over quantity, substance over flash. The brand is also incorporating a wellness-led offering. This suggests that Tala is looking to integrate the lessons she learned in Singapore, perhaps the balance of Eastern holistic practices, with her design aesthetic. The accessories may be accompanied by lifestyle products or initiatives that promote mental and physical well-being. London is the perfect laboratory for this evolution. The city is a melting pot of fashion, sustainability advocates, and conscious consumers. By basing her operations there, Tala places herself at the intersection of commerce and conscience. She is building a business that reflects her values, supporting women, protecting the planet, and creating beauty that lasts. Raising the next generation, the Hamia children. Central to Tala's life, regardless of her zip code, are her 4 children. Her role as a mother has been her defining achievement, and her return to London is largely about setting the stage for their next steps. Her daughter, Mia, is the most visible of the children, having chosen to pursue a career in law. The decision to study law inevitably invites comparisons to Aunt Amal, but it also speaks to the values instilled in the Alamuddin women, a desire for justice, a respect for the rule of law, and the intellectual stamina to navigate complex systems. For Tala, watching her daughter enter the same field as her sister must be a source of immense pride. However, Tala's parenting journey has been unique. Raising 4 children in a foreign country requires adaptability. She had to navigate the Singaporean school system, the social dynamics of the expat community, and the challenge of keeping her children grounded in their Lebanese-British identity while growing up in Asia. Now that she is back in the UK, the dynamic shifts. The grown children she mentioned are likely pursuing higher education or their own careers. Her role is transitioning from day-to-day manager to mentor and guide. This shift in parenting intensity is likely what has allowed her the space to prioritize myself again, as she wrote. Amal Clooney's younger sister, Tala Alamuddin, lived in Singapore for several years and raised her 4 children there. Faye James. Amal Clooney's sister, Tala Alamuddin, has returned to the UK after spending years in Singapore, following the breakdown of her marriage to Italian businessman Nico Latalik. The 45-year-old is leaning on her older sister as she navigates her split, and is excited to be back in London and looking ahead to what's next, according to a spokesperson who told the Daily Mail. "I can confirm she is separated from her ex-husband," the spokesperson continued. "This move marks a new chapter for her, both personally and professionally, and she is very much focused on the positive opportunities ahead." Tala will continue to work on her accessories brand Tala by Tala Alamuddin, which she launched in 2017 and of which Amal is a particular fan. See Amal sporting a clutch from her sister's collection below, her spokesperson added. Tala continues to build Tala by Tala Alamuddin, with London providing a strong and inspiring base as she expands the brand's wellness-led offering alongside its luxury accessories. A key focus at present is transitioning the business to a made-to-order model, leading by example and furthering sustainability efforts. This work reflects Tala's growing passion and deepening commitment to her purpose of supporting women to live the life they desire. The mom of four relocated to the UK following her split. Tala and Amal moved with their parents from Lebanon to Buckinghamshire in the UK to escape the Lebanese Civil War in 1980, and the pair grew up only 2 years apart in age. Amal has always been incredibly supportive of her younger sister, and wore a clutch from Tala's accessory line to the 2018 wedding of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. Tala was also a bridesmaid at Amal's wedding to George Clooney in 2014. Amal's clutch was from Tala's accessory line. She moved to Singapore after tying the knot with her first husband, Lebanese businessman Nagi Hamia, and the couple welcomed 4 kids together, including Mia Hamia, who is following in her aunt's footsteps and studying law. Tala and Nagi went their separate ways in 2016, and shortly after their divorce was finalized, she wed Nico in Singapore. Since their split, Tala has relocated to the UK to be closer to her sister, who has a home in Oxfordshire. She is a mom of 4. George, Amal, and their 8-year-old twins Alexander and Ella reside in their chateau in Provence, France for part of the year and also spend time in their Lake Como mansion. Tala revealed in a candid Instagram post that she was looking forward to starting anew in London after her divorce from Nico. "There's something both grounding and unfamiliar about coming home," she wrote. "After years in Singapore raising my family, building, creating, and moving at full speed, I found myself back in London, in a new rhythm, in a new chapter." Tala shared that she was looking forward to a new chapter. "The city feels different this time. Maybe because I am too. My children are grown, my pace has shifted, and I'm learning to prioritize myself again, my creativity, my health, my time." She continued, "It's a quieter kind of confidence, the kind that comes with knowing who you are and what you love, without rushing to fit into anyone else's idea of it. Here's to new routines, new friends, rediscovering old ones, and embracing the beauty of reinvention and beginning again." In the glittering, often insular world of international high society, few families command the fascination of the Clooneys. Yet, while the spotlight remains fixated on the human rights barrister Amal Clooney and her Hollywood icon husband George, a quieter, equally compelling narrative has been unfolding in the shadows. It is the story of Tala Alamuddin, Amal's younger sister, a woman who has spent the better part of a decade carving out a sanctuary of normalcy and high fashion in the heart of Southeast Asia, only to return to the fold of her family in London under the complex, bittersweet circumstances of marital dissolution. Tala's return to the United Kingdom marks the end of an era and the beginning of a new chapter. 45, she is navigating the turbulent waters of divorce, a career pivot, and a geographical reset, all under the intense but loving gaze of her globally famous sibling. This is the deep dive into the life of Tala Alamuddin. From the war-torn streets of Beirut to the manicured lawns of Buckinghamshire, the bustling heat of Singapore, and the cobblestone streets of London, where she is currently rediscovering who she is outside the roles of wife and mother. The roots of resilience, from Beirut to Buckinghamshire. To understand where Tala Alamuddin is going, one must first understand where she has been. The narrative of the Alamuddin sisters is one defined early on by displacement and adaptation. In 1980, when Lebanon was descending into the chaos of civil war, the Alamuddin family made the heart-wrenching decision to leave their homeland. They relocated to Buckinghamshire in the United Kingdom, seeking safety and stability. Tala and Amal, born just 2 years apart, grew up in the English countryside, an upbringing that was a unique blend of Lebanese heritage and British sensibility. While Amal would eventually rise to the apex of international law, defending journalists and political prisoners, Tala's trajectory, though less publicized, was driven by a similar fierce intelligence and a keen eye for aesthetics and structure. The sisters shared a bond forged in the crucible of being outsiders who quickly became insiders, mastering the language, the culture, and the social codes of their adopted home. Growing up, the two were inseparable. They navigated the trials of adolescence together, supporting one another through the academic rigors that would eventually lead Amal to Oxford and New York University School of Law. While Amal was bringing cases in front of the International Court of Justice, Tala was cultivating her own passions. However, the fundamental desire to build, to create, and to foster a family was a thread that ran through both their lives. This shared history explains the intensity of their current connection. As Tala transitions back to life in the UK, she is not merely moving to a city, she is returning to her psychological anchor. The stability of Buckinghamshire provided the foundation for the resilience she would need decades later as she faced the collapse of her own marriage in the public eye. The Singaporean chapter, a decade of growth and family. For the last several years, Singapore served as the backdrop for Tala's adult life. It was a place of reinvention. Following the end of her first marriage to Lebanese businessman Nagi Hamia and her subsequent marriage to Italian businessman Nico Latalek, Tala chose the island city-state as her base. Singapore, a metropolis known for its order, cleanliness, and blend of Eastern and Western cultures, provided a stark contrast to the wind-swept landscapes of England. For Tala, it was a place where she could focus on what mattered most, raising her 4 children and building her business. Tala is a devoted mother to 4 children, Mia and 3 others whose lives she has guarded with a protective ferocity. Her daughter, Mia Hamia, has already signaled that the intellectual torch of the family burns bright in her generation as well. She is currently following in her Aunt Amal's formidable footsteps by studying law. The choice of Singapore as the upbringing ground for her children was deliberate. It offered safety, world-class education, and a cosmopolitan environment free from the intrusive paparazzi frenzy that surrounds her sister in Europe and the United States. During these years, Tala was not merely an expat wife, she was a builder. She launched her accessories brand Tala by Tala Alamuddin in 2017. The brand was an extension of her own personality, sophisticated, structured, and distinctively glamorous. It wasn't just a vanity project, it was a serious business endeavor that garnered respect in the fashion industry. The brand focuses on luxury accessories, but under Tala's stewardship, it is evolving. Her time in Asia influenced her aesthetic, bringing a sharpness and a modernity to her designs. It was in the quiet moments of Singapore, amidst the skyscrapers and the lush greenery of the Botanic Gardens, that Tala honed her vision. She was raising 4 kids, managing a household, and running a growing fashion empire, a full-speed existence that she described in her own words as moving at a breakneck pace. The breakdown, navigating the split from Nico Latalek. However, the fairy tale narrative of the expat life in the tropics has come to an end. Recent reports confirm that Tala has separated from her second husband, Nico Latalek. The details of the split remain private, guarded by the tight-knit circle that surrounds the Alamuddin Clooney clan, but the emotional weight of the separation is palpable.